What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Sloppy Saturdays. And today, we are going over the John MATEER gambling allegations. We're going to go over everything about it, my opinions on it. I have very strong opinions about it. And we're going to just go over what we think is possibly going to happen with this case that the NCAA is investigating. Now, for anybody that doesn't know, this week a lot of Venmo transactions has popped up. We've seen stuff with Arch Mann and Diego Pavia, a bunch of different Venmo transactions, but the biggest one is John MATEER. John MATEER gambling his freshman year. Now, he has two Venmo transactions that I have right here that he labeled as sports gambling in parentheses, UCLA versus USC, and then another sports gambling one as well to a guy named Richard Roden. Now, in my opinion, this was his freshman year gambling on an offshore book, a guy that's running a sports book probably at Washington State. He labeled them as sports gambling. Now, my first take on this is John MATEER, what are you doing? Like, why are you labeling it sports gambling and making it public? Like, you got to be a little smarter than that. Anybody that I have ever known that's doing something on Venmo that they're not supposed to be doing, they don't label it as what they're not supposed to be doing. Like, why didn't you label it just as a random emoji? Why didn't you label it as food? You label it as sports gambling and make it public as a D1 quarterback. Like, we just got to be better than that. Like, that is just so insane to me. Now, the reason why people in the NCAA obviously aren't allowed to gamble on in-conference NCAA football, any NCAA football, is because they are supposed to have intel. Like, there is a chance that a quarterback from one school could have intel on another school, obviously, especially in conference schools like this. Obviously, John MATEER's intel was not that strong because if he's paying this guy for sports gambling, that means he lost the bet. So his intel was not that great. Now, my opinion on it, do I think he should be suspended? No. John MATEER obviously said that this was an inside joke. Do I believe that it's an inside joke? No, not at all. What inside joke is sports gambling 3-4 times on a Venmo transaction? Like, no. He was just gambling on an offshore book again as a freshman young kid. But do I think he should be suspended for this? No. Again, this was 3 years ago. Obviously, the guy did not have that much intel as he's losing these bets. But not only that, I think no true evidence could really come out of this. Now, when you look at John MATEER and these Venmo transactions, like I said, it's going to be on an offshore book. This isn't betting on FanDuel. This isn't betting on DraftKings where you could quickly pull up the bet slips. On an offshore book, again, they could do their investigation. They're not going to find concrete evidence on this. Now, do I think he's going to be suspended is the question. Now, should he be suspended in my opinion? Like I said, no. 3 years ago, offshore book, losing bets. Do I think they should make a big deal out of this? No, especially because it's hurting everybody. Like, it's going to hurt John MATEER, a guy that wants to go to the NFL, not playing in a couple of games. It's going to hurt Oklahoma. Again, not John MATEER, one of the best transfer portal guys, one of the best quarterbacks in the country, not playing. Again, and it's going to hurt the NCAA as well. Viewership, taking one of the biggest stars out of the sports for a couple of games. Again, it's not helping anybody. But now, do I think he's going to be suspended? Yes, 100%. NCAA has power trips. We notice time and time again. They are just not going to let something like this go. Him completely violating the rules. Again, even if they don't find concrete evidence, they could definitely suspend him for an alternative reason, alternative case. Like, John MATEER is definitely not going to get away with this. Now, do I think it's going to be 1, 2, 3 whole season suspension? Again, that I cannot tell you, but I think John MATEER is definitely going to be suspended. Does this help anybody? Like I said, no. People want to see John MATEER as one of the biggest stars in the sport coming into this year. It's not going to help Oklahoma at all. Like, they should overlook it, but will they overlook it? No one in the NCAA, 100% no. That wraps up this episode. Drop down what you think below on this John MATEER case. Do you think John MATEER, again, should have hid the request? Do you think he was very dumb to do this? Do you think he should be suspended? He shouldn't be suspended? What do you think the NCAA is going to do? Drop down your opinions below. That wraps up this episode of Sloppy Saturdays, and we are out.